Consumer debt in this country is at $13.5 trillion. Just let that sink in for a second. On average, Americans owe $6,506 on their credit cards. And the only way this is going to improve is if we educate people early on about money management.
All right, there's a nonprofit called Sensibility. It's teaching and empowering high school students to be financially responsible. Roy Paul is the executive director. And Roy, you know, I've said this 1,000 times. Why didn't I get taught in high school about balancing a checkbook back in the day, or about anything related to finance? Why aren't there high school courses?
Well, it certainly makes you frustrated, right? You think of all the things you learned that you don't use in your current day life, and you go, why didn't I learn something that I can actually use? Well, the answer is really twofold. State legislatures who mandate these courses be taught through the state education departments really have not caught up to speed with what students actually need to be prepared in this economy. And then you think of the lobbyists that exist to make sure that young people in particular don't know the difference between this loan versus that loan. Just think about it. If you knew better, would you have done better?
So there are lobbyists who are telling the legislature that this should not be a curriculum in schools because they think ignorance is great.
Absolutely. They put pressure on them through their campaign donations, whether it's check cashing lobby who love the fact that people don't have bank accounts, right? They get their checks cashed there.
Right.
Or people who have private industries where they give loans to people going to college, right? They want you to take that loan out with that high interest rate. They don't want you to know the difference.
All right, so let's talk about Sense, and it's C-E-N-T-S, Sensibility. It's a curriculum, right, that is offered for free?
Yes.
So tell us about it.
You seem surprised about that.
No, I mean, it's great.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
And why isn't it everywhere?
Yeah. Right, we have an eight-module curriculum, everything from the basics to the little more advanced, you know, whether it's, you know, savings and banking to credit card debt or stock and, you know, stocks and investments. And we offer it 100% free of charge to schools, nonprofits if they want it. We even have professional development training for teachers who may not feel confident enough in teaching financial literacy if you're an economics professor or something.
Right.
We give you professional development training as well because we really want this information out there. So we get our money from banks and corporations who have the money to invest. You know, they are making millions of dollars in profit, and I call them up and I say, give us a little bit of your money so we can do this good work. And in most cases they say yes.
Now, a recent study showed that 24% of millennials lack basic financial literacy. 83% of students believe that a course on finance should be taught as part of the curriculum. And there's also 54% of students have never or rarely discussed money with their parents.
Right.
So really, let's talk to the parents who are watching right now. It's on all parents to start talking to their kids fairly young about money, right? And why are they sheltering them?
And it's intimidating because usually if you don't have a lot of money, you don't feel comfortable talking about it.
Yes.
And we have a lot of young people who are in low-income communities that really learn healthy or bad habits from their parents, right? You know, I had talked to one young person who said, you pay $175 in rent. This was in New York City. And I said, you're crazy. I don't know where you got the number from. And he said, I know this. This is what my grandmother pays. She's on Section 8, government housing subsidy. Didn't know the difference between the housing subsidy and what the real world will charge you for a market rate apartment.
Right.
So basic things that kids pick up these things. And one of my biggest pet peeves, and it's one of the things that I sound the alarm wherever I go, kids who are going off to college, they take out that loan. Unfortunately, they have to take out loans, and we're sending more kids to college, and that's wonderful.
Sure.
But if you ask them, what's your monthly payment going to be when you graduate in 4 years? They can't answer the question.
No, of course not.
And I had a teenager say to me recently, it's good to have debt, right? It's good to not pay off each month, correct? And I'm thinking, where is this coming from? I said, no, pay it off every single month and do not overspend what you don't have. But this is from a teen that I figure should know better, but
let's talk about how, if somebody's watching that wants to, you know, get this curriculum in their schools, how do they go about it?
So contact us. We're pretty accessible on social media. You can call us, you can email us, write us, and tell us where you are, and we will send you everything we've got for free.
Wonderful.
Right, so
Roy Paul.
It's C-E-N-T-S, right?
Yes.
-ability.org. All right. Everybody, go put it in your schools.
Please. Thanks, Roy.
We'll be right back.